dominance. Oh my goodness, Serrano landed 2 punches.
Oh, and there was a huge left hand drop. Serrano goes Serrano. Ennis looks for the end, left hand, and Serrano in trouble again. His legs are not getting it.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and enjoy the show. What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. Guys, if you're new here, to all the new subscribers, my name is Johnny. I say thank you. To everyone else who has been supporting me, I say thank you once again. Guys, today we're going to go over multiple statistics that often get overlooked when talking about Jaron Boots Ennis. Before we get this thing going, let's cover some of the well-known facts per se about Boots. This is a very popular fighter out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, America. He's undefeated. He's a knockout artist. Jaron's record is 31-0 with 28 knockouts. He has a 90% knockout to win ratio, and this makes him highly and ultra exciting when you watch him fight. He is the IBF interim welterweight champion. And some other intangibles about Boots: he's only 26 years old. He seems like he's a lot older. He's had a storied amateur career, and his physicality in the division is something to behold as well. He's 5'10", and he has a 74-inch reach. We also know that he's a Philly kid, like I said, and that his dad is Boozy Ennis, popular, famous coach, and Boozy had a boxing career before he started coaching as well. Far less successful as his son, Boots, and the sky is truly the limit on Ennis. The only question is, after this video, we have to ask ourselves, with his strength of schedule, his resume, is he ready for the big fights? We know whenever we see his name in the media, he's often getting compared to Bud Crawford, and a lot of his fans want him to fight Bud right now. After we do this video, I'll have one question for you guys and ask, do you think Boots is ready based on his resume? And here we go. What we're going to do is look at his last 10 fights. Now, that last 10, we're not going to include the Chris Van Heerden fight, because even though that was for the title and it's on his record as a no contest, there's no reason we talk about it because it ended in the first round due to a headbutt. So we're going to start with the Serrano fight and work our way all the way up to when he defended his very last fight against Roman Villa. Those opponents that he fought, Serrano at the time of the Boots fight, and this is important, guys, when we're doing our stats, because what we've done is we've correlated all of his opponents' wins and we've added that together. We've also correlated all of his opponents' losses. We've added that together, done an equation, and we've developed a win-loss ratio, or Boots Ennis's strength of schedule. So the first fight, Serrano, going into the Boots fight, he was 24-5. Mamani was 23-5. Fernandez 12-1. Ayubov was 14-1, Abreu 23-5, Lipnitz 16-1, Delorme 25-5, Clayton 19-0, Chikachin 21-1, and Villa was 26-1. Guys, if we add all of those fights up, his opponent's career win-loss ratio of his last 10 fights, 203 wins versus 25 losses. That gives Boots an 89% win-loss ratio for his strength of schedule over his last 10. The reason why that's important, because as a fighter progresses in his career, early on in their career, they're going to take a lot, I don't want to say easier fights, but guys on their records with a lot more losses than wins. It's how you measure your fighter. As he progresses towards the top, it's up to the camp, the coaches, promoters to pair them up as evenly as possible. And when you look at a fighter's early part of the career, this is why you'll see a lot of numbers like 25-10 records, even 15-30 records. But as you get to the top, like Boots is approaching, you see a lot more 26-1s, 19-0s. So he only fought one undefeated fighter, and that was Clayton, which he knocked him out in the second. And because of this, not necessarily the lack of undefeated fighters, with his strength of schedule, his overall career resume is only 60%, because a lot of those fights that happened early on, like I mentioned, a lot of his early fight records, his first few fights, Corey Mildrew 1-9, Luis Ramos 0-1, Tavares Teague was 3-12, 1-3, 2-4, 3-4, 28-16, 16-20. You get the point. He was paired up early on in his career with a lot of guys with not so good records, and that brings his overall strength of schedule down to 60%. But you see the comparison, the contrast. The last 10 fights, it's at almost 90%. When we look at his record so far in his fights, obviously we haven't seen the best of Jaron. He's only 26. They say fighters don't really reach their physical mature prime until their late 20s, sometimes early 30s. Look at Bud Crawford, he's 36. He's never looked better. So to think that Jaron's only 26, I don't think we need to rush this kid. Of all of his fights, I feel literally it's his last fight that really impressed me. Roman Villa came into that fight 26-1. When you think about a fighter, I don't want to say plays with their food because it's disrespectful to Villa, but Ennis did get him out of there in the 10th round, but he dominated that fight. He was switching stances. I just don't know yet if it's time to put him up against guys like Crawford, but only time will tell. I'm not a matchmaker. I'm just posing the question to you guys, and I'm going to finish this video how I started. I'm going to ask you, do you think at 31-0 with 28 knockouts at only 26 years old, Jaron Ennis is ready for the big hitters, the big top guys, specifically Bud Crawford? Let me know in the comment section below.